cool.
It's a slinky bass, Alison. Maybe
maybe
we should talk about it today, but not yet because
maybe we will.
We'll get onto the bass and those beautiful dark star pickups. But before we do, I just wanted to jump straight into, the title of this video is Big Changes Coming to the YouTube channel. So I wanted to kick off just with a quick conversation about what the heck I'm kind of hinting at. I've also hinted at it over on Instagram as well, shared a few cool clips. Some of you will know or have an idea of what direction we're going in anyway. And I wanted to share a video to kind of, what's that saying? An image does something like 1,000 words or something.
I believe it's a picture is worth 1,000 words.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's do that. We got that, yeah.
And a video is probably worth more, right?
Yeah, exactly. So this is a video. Ian has seen a tiny little snippet of this. He's not seen the rest, so this will be super fun. But this will give you an indication of where we're going. This is from behind the scenes in a project that we were just doing over in Los Angeles. I think it's been pretty exciting. Check it out. Shout out to, oh my word.
So many amazing people and animals.
Mr. Dart.
Oh, Joe Dart, come on. Hey, Yannick. Mohini just ripping.
Mr. East. Larry Goldens.
Oh, Vincent. Adrian. Lee Sklar. Come on. That's a bass.
Playing the bass. Corey Henry with Adrian.
Henrik Linder. Hey!
Who are these two fine-looking gentlemen?
Jambronis over here. Oh, wow. Also, I'm just realizing for our audio listeners, that was a horrible tease. If you can't see it, you got to get on over there to YouTube, you guys.
Yeah,
but basically,
check it out on YouTube.
We just saw a sizzle reel. Do you guys call it that over there? A sizzle reel?
A sizzle reel. Somebody on the team used that word, actually. I think it was Phil was like, we need to make a sizzle reel. And I was like, that sounds cool. Sizzle away.
Sounds cool. I mean, when you order something at a restaurant and it comes, but then the table next to you got that platter, the sizzling fajita, and it goes by you and you go,
platter,
yeah, and you wish you would have got that. Well, that's what we made for our trip to Los Angeles, where we did so many great interviews with all those bass players we were mentioning. That's what just played. And it was amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's the direction that we're going to be going hard in 2025. Not that we won't be doing all of the other things. We will be absolutely doing that. But we just thought, it was the tail end of when... it was when I was in hospital having my shoulder, wasn't it?
Yes.
I was in hospital getting a shoulder reconstruction surgery. And in, when you're sort of like unplugged from the world, you get a little bit of time to think. Well, I was unplugged from the world, so I was in a hospital room. And I really did a lot of thinking about the YouTube channel and just thought to myself, we need to put together a project that really showcases some of the best players in the world doing their thing. And make it part of what we're bringing to the SBL channel every single month. So you're going to see all of those. That's just a clip of some of the stuff that's coming. It's not all of the stuff. It's just some of the stuff coming. We've also got some incredible other artists as well coming to the YouTube channel. And so this is all coming onto YouTube. And we're already in discussions about going back out to LA later on in the year to do another session like this, which is going to be wild, actually, to be able to part of this was kind of like, have we bitten off a little more than we can chew and all of that, because we did, I think it was 12 days back to back out in Los Angeles, just in downtown. Great studio. Shout out to Matty and Aiden, who are on cameras out there. We had Oscar and Dave, whose studio it was, or at least were engineering. Also, the guys from Trickfish, who they came down and gave us an amp that we were using.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
we had Spencer Lull sent a bass down because I didn't want to travel with the bass. I was like, oh God, I don't want to travel with the bass. And Spencer was like, I'll send one down. So Spencer sent a great jazz bass down, which is the bass that you just saw Mohini Day playing a little bit earlier on in that sizzle reel.
Ew.
And then also massive shout out to Sharon as well, who not only brought the bass down from Spencer, but also Sharon sort of like was the glue that held everything together and made that clockwork thing go. It made it everything, everything head in the right direction, and we pulled it off because of Sharon. So it was incredible experience.
Let me ask you this, because the people are going to want to know, what was the most surprisingly cool thing that happened? Like, what was something that you were like, oh, that was incredible? And what was the most difficult thing that happened on that trip? Do you have, can you answer those questions, or can we talk about it for a moment?
Which was the first one, the most surprisingly cool?
Yeah. Like, what were you like, oh, that was so cool. Cooler than I even imagined. I have one. It's just a leading question, but I'm curious if you've thought about that.
There was too many, actually. Like, I could say there was things about every single day that was just standout lifelong memories. Like, the first day after I landed, Lee Sklar came down. We spent the entire day together. He was playing all of his favorite tracks. He was like showing me tracks that he'd done earlier on in his career. We're like playing Sussudio, like we're doing the whole thing, you know. He also brought down all of his basses, you know, that classic, that amazingly famous P bass that he's got with the dual reverse P pickups. He brought it's like a Les Paul looking thing, but it's actually his first jazz bass that he basically just took a freaking saw to.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, he did that.
Because I wasn't there for that, which is
it's a jazz bass, man. There was that,
wow.
And then like Ready Freddie Washington came down. That was just incredible. Nathan East brought us cookies.
Well, so I was going to say that about Nathan. Like, one thing about Nathan East, I mean, of course, he's everybody's bass player, right? And he's a monster, and he's played on everything. And he's an incredible player also. Maybe the sweetest guy, the most like considerate guy. He hung all the way through that day that he was there. I mean, it was like he just wanted to hang. He was like the last person at the studio. And then the next day wasn't on the schedule and brought us all cookies
or donuts or whatever they were awesome. I had a peanut butter one. It was great.
It was so cool. Like, he just rolled in, knocked on the door, and was like, "Hey guys, just wanted to thank you for the amazing day yesterday," and brought everybody treats. And that's how you get the gig. That's how it's done.
But yeah, so to answer your question, there wasn't one standout cool thing. It was just sort of like day after day after day after day of these like incredible memories.
Yeah.
By the way, if you are watching this on YouTube, hey YouTubers, if you're watching this on YouTube, please let us know in the comments who you want to get on. Who do you want to see this year on the SBL YouTube channel? We have got some, like, you know, we're aiming high. But so let us know down below in those comments who you want to get on the channel, and we will try and make that happen. We've already got some really fantastic conversations up and running with some like monstrous bass legends. So we're going to make it happen for you, but let us know down below. Also, while I'm doing housekeeping as well right now, we are going to be talking about the membership, SBL membership, later on in this conversation, because there's some big changes coming up to the SBL membership as well. But in case you don't make it all the way there, I just wanted to let everybody know that we've got a super snazzy, on my notes right here, it says a snazzy discount. A snazzy discount. I don't know what a snazzy discount is, but that's what I thought when I was writing it down.
We're going to find out right now.
Yeah, you can get $50 off. Go for playerspath.com. Playerspath.com, and you'll find it there. I expect if you go to scottsbasslessons.com, you'll find it there too. But yeah, we're going to be talking later on in this this conversation how there's some big changes coming up to the YouTube. I mean the membership as well. But just going back to LA, it was absolutely wild, dude. Absolutely wild.
And I'm not letting you off the hook for hardest thing.
Thing.
I'm coming back.
The first day was really hard.
Jet lag, right? Coming over.
It was jet lag, and it was Lee Sklar. We had Lee Sklar in on that first day. And
you told me that he just basically, like, he came in, was so excited, and just kind of wanted to hang, right? Like,
and I didn't
playing you music.
We could have just hung all day,
right?
And then at the end of the day, being like, "Oh shit, we didn't record anything." Like that absolutely could have been a reality.
Right.
I would have been happy to do so. Like, it was great.
Yeah.
So we just like hung out for maybe like, I don't know, like 1 hour, maybe even like 2 hours to begin with, before we were like, oh yeah, we need to record something. So, and that was hard because it was not hard hanging out with Lee Sklar, obviously, but it was like, I just didn't have my interview chops in flow, like by the end of that 12-day period that we were over in the States in LA, I was like, it was super easy, but it just takes a little time, it takes a little time. So I had to, and it was right in amongst all of those fires as well. Those fires were happening. Lee was having to deal with that. So he came in and his hands were all sort of like scratched up because he'd been moving, clearing stuff out of his garden. It was like, he was an absolute legend. He had every reason to be like, you know what, Scott?
Can't do it.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
But he was a legend and he came down and hung it. It was freaking awesome.
Well, and we thought that there would be artists that would cancel. I mean, I remember, going over, I spoke to Yannick about it and saying, is this even like right that we're still doing this? And he said, oh, definitely. I want to do it. There are going to be a lot of players that are going to want to have a feeling of normalcy. But everyone was affected in some way or another because you either were affected yourself or you knew somebody that lost their entire home and their possessions. So it was a heavy feeling. But when we got there, there was, it was wild. It was almost like no smoke. You couldn't tell anything had happened where we were in downtown
so big,
LA.
isn't it? Yeah, it's so
yeah. And people ended up coming down and being grateful to come down and hang out. And so I was anticipating that being the hardest thing of like, oh man,
you thought that bit was going to be hard. That bit wasn't hard at all. Actually.
Correct. Yeah. It was, obviously hard for the people that went through it before, but for that project for us, it was like, wow, it didn't touch it in kind of an odd way, actually. Yeah. We were grateful for that and grateful for the people that came down. I want to give a shout out to you and say that I saw you in top interview mode, dude. Oh, yeah, top dude. Mode. You were killing it, and you were and then you'd get done with one, and then you'd be texting an artist, about like, oh, make sure to bring this and that, and dude, you were on fire. It was awesome to see you in that context, just like kicking ass.
It was great.
So kudos to you.
I love doing projects like that. I love it because it's just sort of like, it's so productive. They're just like you're in flow all the time. And it's just sort of like this constant sort of like wheel. It's like this flywheel going around. You get to the end of the project, you look back and you're like, wow, we freaking, like, I think that we came away with 25 videos or something like that. Mid-20s over 12 days, which is great.
It's going to be so fun to see them all come out too. Yeah,
it's going to be awesome. By the way, shout out to Yannick as well. Oh, Yannick was Dala. Hostess with the mostess. We went out to Yannick's place. He put on a great spread for us. It was awesome. There was some great characters there as well. Steve Bailey was there. Who else was there? My word.
Henrik Linder was there.
Oh, Henrik was there. Matson was there from Matson. And
that's right.
From Matson Basses. Yeah, Lars from Line 6.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is where Chris.
Tim Landers as well. Tim Landers.
Chris Sheezy was there. Elton was there. Elton's partner was there. We can sleep easy now. We've got everybody. And Chelsea, Yannick's wife, who was awesome as well. And Yannick's little kid as well. That's it. And Sharon. Hopefully we've got everybody. Somebody's like, they left me out. But anyway, it was a cool hang.
Yeah, I got to play Chelsea's F bass, which was so sick. Like, Yannick has a bunch of cool basses, but Chelsea's F bass might have been my favorite bass in that household. That's just a hot take.
Come on.
Many.
Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds.
There's deep pedal problem.
I wouldn't know anything about that. Let's leave that side
talking
of the
about
room
great
out.
days, that day that Yannick came down, that was cool because he had some like great artists with him. Clarence Penn on drums. Larry Goldings came on keys.
Oh, crazy.
We gave them a tune to rearrange on the spot. They did that. Then Hadrian Farode came down the next day. He had Thundercat's brother on drums, obviously Ronald Bruner, and he had Corey Henry on keys. That was wild to see all that come together. Like, it was just a freaking, it was a wild project. Looking forward to the next time.
Yeah.
Hopefully we do it there as well, because the freaking breakfast down the road were awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
The Something Cow. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
I've got a picture actually. Maybe we'll throw it. Maybe we won't. It's me, you, and Sharon, and the guy behind the counter of the breakfast place.
Yeah. Hey. Let me just
Yeah,
address the elephant in the room or the sleeping dog in the room. If anybody's hearing sounds, that is Daisy snoring on
I
Scott's
think
side.
Connor will probably do something snazzy about the sound, and we'll be able to block it out. But maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should have her in the snoring.
I think you let her rip, dude. You let her rip.
What was your favorite part of the project? And also, what was the hardest part for you?
A big highlight for me was Joe Dart. I wasn't sure what to expect with Joe. You know, he's such a rock star. You know, like at Joe's level, he is the guy kind of in the zeitgeist right now. He's elevated to like rock star bass player level in my eyes, right?
Yeah.
And so I just wasn't sure. Like with folks like that, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. And he was so lovely. Like addressing everybody, thanking everybody, just so open. He is right in his chops to like could play anything with a smile on his face and just like all that music, all the Wolf stuff. And obviously he knows that stuff, but it's not easy just to necessarily access all of your most famous or difficult tunes. And he just had them on lock.
It was just on
even
tap, wasn't it?
Yes,
It was just like any
even the
tune, I can play
surprises.
it.
Yeah. And it was no big deal. And even if there was a little moment that wasn't perfect, it just felt like an extension. Like the bass felt like an extension of him. And then you guys did that piece of content around like the bass lines that made him, right? And all his favorite stuff.
Tower of Power.
Forget it.
And he just knows it instant. He's like, oh yeah. What he said.
And he played the whole day, and he's been playing for the last number of months on that Sterling Dart, the $399 Sterling Dart. And I bought one of those too to give to my son. And I told him about it. I said, hey man, I bought one of those basses. He's like, oh, that's so cool. What do you think? And I said, it's depressingly awesome. And he said, I know what you mean. He's like, I think I know what you mean. I said, yeah, it's like, you know, I'm like bougie bass guy with fancy basses, spending money on these basses. And then there's a $400 instrument that feels incredible. And he said, yeah, he said, it's really a weird myth that you need to spend a ton of money to get a great bass. He's like, I've just been playing this bass because I love it. And, you know, and it also makes a point. And he was awesome, really cool. He was awesome. He was awesome. And that was fun.
He was super sweet as well. And I totally let Gav down. I let him down that day. He said to me, he was like, Joel, who's Gav's one of our videographers and editors. He messaged me on that day and he was like, dude, he was like, Joel, my son, he's the biggest Joe Dart fan. He said, if you could get like Joe Dart just saying onto camera, just like on your iPhone, hey Joel, you know, great to hear that you like the band or whatever, right? He said it'd make his day, and I freaking forgot.
Oh, no.
But check this out. The week after, Joe Dart texts me. He's in Leeds. He's in Leeds. And he was like, hey, do you want to come down the gig? I was like, absolutely, I'm coming down the gig. And he was like, do you want any guesties? And I was like, yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
You do.
So like text Gavin. I was like, you busy on Friday, dude? Want to bring Joel along to meet Joe Dart? And Gav was like, oh. Yeah, so we went and hung out with Joe Dart down at the gig. It was great. It was awesome.
Redeemed, Divine.
I redeemed myself, because I felt like proper guilty about it. I was like, oh my God, he asked me for one thing. This one thing. And I freaking dropped the ball.
Oh.
But it was, it was great meeting Joe and then hanging and stuff like that. And that bass sounds killer. Actually.
Oh, I mean, yeah. And honestly, and Joe's bones and muscles and brain and tissue and Joe sounds killer. You know what I mean? And yes, his bass is cool, but Joe plays hard and with tons of conviction. And it's just like, man, he just has so much personality in his playing. That was probably my favorite thing.
Anything
the
hard
hardest
for you?
thing?
Anything hard?
Yeah, the hardest thing for me was coming in halfway through that project. Like I couldn't come down with you guys for various personal reasons. Yeah. And so I came down late and it felt like and you guys didn't make me feel this way, but I sort of felt like the new guy coming into the cool kid hang. You know what I mean?
Feel like a spare part or something. Like,
hey guys, so what do you want me to do? I'll just hang, okay. And I hosted some challenges and stuff, but it was hard for me to not feel like, how can I, like, I want to be a valuable part of it, right? But then for me, it was like, I think my part in this is support.
The machine's up and running. Where do I?
The machine's running.
Yeah,
right. The machine was running. And so then I just needed to be the guy that was supporting and hanging out and interfacing with you and with the artists, and hosted a couple of challenges, which was fun.
Absolutely.
Got my ass kicked in a challenge myself too. But yeah, it was, I had to get comfortable in that role, and it just took me a moment to do that.
It was great having you to do that, but it was also good to have Sharon did that as well. Sharon hosted
totally.
a bunch of. We were doing a challenge with Mohini Day. That might already be out by the time
when this comes out
gets released, maybe. Yeah, but that challenge with Mohini Day, Sharon's hosting it, and Mohini basically learnt this piece in like 6 minutes or something, or less.
Was it a Primus tune? Was it Tommy the Cat?
Primus, yeah, like John the Fisherman or something like that. And she
okay, got it.
Just like got it instant. It was like
Sharon was telling me, she sent me a message afterwards. She was like, I watched Mohini with her left hand finding the bass line and with her right hand writing a chart simultaneously.
Yeah, she did.
And would listened once, maybe once and a half, and was like, okay, I'm ready to do a take. And we're like, what? Because I don't care who you are and how you think you do with those challenges. That stuff under the gun, that is not easy. No, it is not easy.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that's done one of those challenges with it, actually, because it's incredibly hard. There's a lot of pressure, and it's, Drumeo do a great job of it on the drums and stuff like that. But come on, hang on a minute. Drums, there is no pitch.
Yeah. I mean? Easier to do on drums. Drumeo. Drummers, so easy.
Freaking drummer. How do you tell if the stage is level again? How is it?
Are you going to do a drummer drooling joke right now?
Yeah, it's the drummers drool out on both sides of them.
Wow. I'm not going to join you on that one. Drool stays in. It's all good.
but all that to say that it's really hard when there's pitch involved. It's hard. I was listening to there's a cool channel called Drumble. And they were doing like a learns as fast as possible type of video, right? And shout out to the guys at Drumble who are killing it. It looks like they're having a great time doing it. And it's a bass player and drummer doing a challenge together. And the drummer locks it in. He's got it. He's like, yeah, I've got it. And the bass player just looks at him just like, no, I haven't got it yet. I mean, of course you've got it. Yeah. You have no pitch. Yeah. You're just playing time and you're just sort of you're winning, right? So,
yeah.
It made me laugh.
Let me just say this. I mean, we take our shots at I guess drummers right now, which is ridiculous. It's like talk about taking a shot at the wrong demographic, and also at Drumeo. It's easy for you guys. That said, we would just like to address another elephant in the room that we did indeed borrow this content format from Drumeo.
We did.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Drumeo.
Very much. You originated, as far as we know, this content type. We borrowed it from you. Thank you very much for doing that for us. And still, it's too easy for drummers, Divine, huh?
It's too easy. I shout out to Jared and Jamie over at Drumeo as well. We message back and forward a lot. I haven't seen Jared in a while, but Jamie's the guy that runs Drumeo. He's the CEO of Drumeo at the minute, and he was over in London. We couldn't make it happen because I was over in LA and stuff like that. We missed each other, but shout out to those guys who were killing it as well.
Oh, they just crush. Yeah, they absolutely do a great job.
Dude, one thing we have to talk about is NAMM, because we got there after the LA thing, right? So we did LA and then wrapped up that project, and then we shot down to NAMM. And I'd never been. I was like a NAMM virgin.
It was your first NAMM. A Nurgen? A Namgen?
It's a Namgen,
It's all bad. That's all just bad.
It was cool though. It was freaking awesome. And I wasn't sure what to expect actually. Everybody's said that it's like, I just really didn't know what to expect. My experience of NAMM was watching it on, 2006, 2008 or something. Watching like the
channels that do
on YouTube, and it was like
Premier
the
Guitar or
Federa,
something.
it was just like the Federa booth and the F bass booth and the MTD booth, and that was pretty much it. It was those three, bass companies that. Oh, and Groove Gear as well. They all had sort of like a pretty cool way of capturing the content, uploading it. Aguilar did some stuff as well, and that was my window into NAMM. So it was like super fun to hang out and meet everybody. Definitely going to go for the full stint next year, like for sure.
Oh, I felt like, you were there for basically one day, right?
Yeah.
And
Not
I was
even
there for
one day, actually, at 10 till 3.
Yeah. So you were there, for a chunk of a day.
Yeah.
I was there for like a day and a half, kind of. And I felt like, man, I got to see about 10% of the stuff I wanted to see. And I got to go.
Wow,
for sure.
Crazy.
Like it just felt, it felt so intense. And I love it. I actually love it. I really enjoy it. I mean, I'm tired at the end, but everybody's like, "Oh, NAMM, oh, it's crazy," and like, "Oh," but I'm like,
it's not that crazy.
I don't feel that way. I think it's really
awesome,
fun.
You get to meet everybody that you've seen online, and that you're gonna have like a connection with. You get to meet them. So like
shout out
like Josh from Bass Buzz.
Yeah,
right?
I was just gonna say, man, shout out to Josh Fosgreen. Now we're audio texting voice buddies, so we do the audio text to each other and chat back and forth. Like we ended up, so that day that you had to head out, he hung out with us the whole day, and then into the night for the after party hang, we hung out with Rhett Shull and his wife Tilly, which was so
Conrad
fun
as well.
Yeah, got to see Philip there, which was awesome. And Josh Fosgreen from Bass Buzz, just what a dude. Also like 100 feet tall.
I was going to say, I wonder if you're going to point out that he's just like,
dude, this guy.
Tall. You could see him coming from the other side of the room. You're like, there's a shadow. Where did the sun just go? There's a shadow.
Yeah. I think Fosgreen's like 6'7". He's a big dude. He just asked me the other day on a voice text. He was like, "Do people still ask you like if you played basketball as a kid?" And I said, "I'm not that tall. I mean, I'm 6'3", but that's kind of like average. Oh, tall, right? But it's not. You got to be pushing 6'5", 6'7", 8 for people to say like the first thing out of their mouth is, "Hey, are you or were you a basketball player?" Nobody's asking me that because I'm just like regular tall. He's extra tall.
He's extra tall. Yeah. He's got chops as well, dude.
He's awesome. I love him.
It was interesting actually. Meeting him was great. I went and followed him on Instagram, and I checked out some of his Instagram clips. I was like, oh, he shreds, actually.
He's a monster.
He's got he's got great shred chops. And it was interesting that he doesn't do any of that on his YouTube channel at all.
Not at all.
He just focuses on that beginner thing.
It sneaks out though.
Does it sneak out?
Like he'll do a Primus video and talking about Les Claypool and show you how to kind of get close to it. But then there'll be like a 10-second clip of him actually really nailing the tune. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I mean, I suppose you could do it like this, and then he just crushes it, and then he's like, but if we break it down, right? So he's got, it's a real sneaky sense of chops in there that he's a monster player. Do you want to know something fun?
Do you know Mark from Talking Bass?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Mark from Talking Bass. So Mark there's all of this sort of like connectivity between SBL, Talking Bass, and Bass Buzz. Check it out. Okay, check it out. So when I was working on the cruise ships in my early 20s, like 2021, I got off the cruise ships and I was like, I need to go and like find some more musicians to be a part of. And I saw a part-time like jazz course that was like 10 miles from my house where I was living in Leeds. I was like, so I enrolled in this part-time jazz course and I went there, and my teacher was Mark Smith.
From Talking Bass.
He was teaching bass there when I got there.
Oh, cool.
And so check this out. And we got there, and obviously I've been playing professionally at this time, and he hadn't been doing that much professional playing. And I was like, dude, you need to go on the ships. it's wild. It's going to be amazing for your playing. It's going to be, you're going to love it. And he was like, so he ends up, I kind of bully him into this thing. He goes on the ships off the back of, meeting me and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then who does he meet on the ships?
Foss-Green.
No
way.
Yeah, so there's like all of this, and Mark and Josh know each other really, really well.
Oh, I love that.
I think they worked on the same ship.
Oh,
anyway,
I love that.
So there you go. Bit of a, yeah.
Oh, guys, go check out those 2 YouTube channels. And if you're checking out bass online on YouTube, you probably already have. But if you haven't, check out Josh Foss-Green, who runs Bass Buzz, and check out Mark, who runs Talking Bass. Incredible education. If you need, stuff broken down, they are a wonderful spot, especially Josh's channel for beginner bassists. I mean, and we have looked at that of like, he's the blueprint for doing beginner bass content. He's so awesome. So anyway, love those guys. And yeah, NAMM is a place where you get to meet those folks.
Okay, dude. Here's a couple of questions for you in terms of NAMM.
Let's
if
go.
You could have walked away with 3 basses, which would they be from NAMM?
Well, I did walk away with something from NAMM.
You walked away with that one.
But the things that I didn't get at NAMM, I always really enjoy going over and talking to the Straddy folks, the Straddy booth.
Yeah.
From Poland.
STADL or something. It looks like a violin kind of thing. Beautiful.
STRADI, Stradi.
Okay. Yeah.
They also, apparently Jason Momoa came in for a moment. Do you know who I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
Freaking Aquaman, dude.
Yes. And ordered.
I want to piggyback off that guy.
I thought you meant metaphorically, but you mean literally.
Oh, yeah. No, literally.
you want to literally jump on Jason Momoa's back and get a piggyback ride.
100%. Yeah. That's actually, if I ever meet Jason Momoa and we do like a bass thing together.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a piggyback and I'm going to get it on. I'm going to get it, either a picture of it or a video of it. And that's it. I can die happy. I'm done. Yeah.
I mean, you never know, man. Stranger things have happened.
Dude, it's going to happen. I'm just like wording people up. So when it happens, they're like, no shit. He said this thing was going to happen. I'm absolutely going to get a piggyback from Jason Momoa. Let it be said now.
Jason Momoa.
You have no idea where to go.
I'm just trying to like, how do I bridge it back to the NAMM conversation? It doesn't matter. I love that. I hope I'm there to film it, or I hope I'm there to have him say, no. Because he might go, no thanks.
He'd be gay.
But then you guys would have a couple of drinks, you'd be playing some bass, and he'd probably be like, all right, come on, get on.
There's no way a man that big and strong cannot do it.
Yeah, but I mean, this he also has a back that he needs to preserve. I mean, hell, he might be like, he might be like no piggyback NDA'd up, by Marvel or something. Like you can't, how like pro basketball players you can't just go out with LeBron and like shoot hoops during the day. You can't do that. I don't know if you know that, but that won't happen.
No, dude, he is
under contract.
He is open to piggyback, and I am as light as a robber's dog as well. So I'm fine.
I'm just projecting because I am not as light. I'm a hefty boy. I'm a hefty cinch sack, man.
You wouldn't be on the back of Jason.
No.
Anyway, so Jason Momoa came to NAMM.
He came in and he ordered 8 Stradi basses from them.
No shit.
Yeah,
wow.
He ordered 8, and they were shocked and thrilled. And I just love seeing them. They had their daughters there too. I would love to go to Poland and hang with them and see how they build those basses. It's like they're not my thing. They're very ornate and they're like art. But I am just blown away by what they do, and it's just the husband and wife that does it. And it's amazing. Yeah. But I got to meet Tom Stenbeck and play Stenbeck 5-string bass that was absolutely outrageous. I mean, truly amazing. And that was so fun to meet him and talk to him. We
saw each other. Do you know that? Just to put in, that's the annoying thing about NAMM. You see loads of people. It's like something I'm great friends with Tom. I haven't seen him in a few years, but I'm great friends with him.
Just like,
we saw each other. It was one of those moments. And like you're getting pulled in different directions. And
Yeah.
And then
Well,
I didn't see him again. Yeah. But
What you're not saying, and I'll say for you, is that you got mobbed. I mean, every bass player that is at NAMM knows you.
yeah, that was
You know,
fun. That's fun.
has a parasocial relationship with you. You know what I mean? Because they see,
Yeah.
they listen
I
to
wanna
the
bring my
pod, they watch
kids
the
to be like,
videos.
Look,
Look, Dad's cool. Everybody
I
knows
am
Dad.
cool. I told you I was cool.
Dude, on the rare occasion that I'm at Costco and there's another bass dad there who goes, "Oh, I know," like, and I'm with my kids, it's incredible because they're always like, "Dad," every time they're like, "Are you famous?" And my favorite thing, I always go like this, "Just a little bit, just a little bit."
A little bit.
I'm going to talk about this bass too, because this is incredible. This is a Grez, and he's calling this bass, it's not the World Tour, it's called the Grand Tour. That's what it is. Oh, and this was actually, I helped design this bass. I mean, I didn't do much. I just floated the idea to Barry Grez, who makes just incredible arch tops, solid bodies, short scale stuff. He's a one-man show outside of the Bay Area in California, and he made this bass, and it's freaking amazing. Basically, I think, or I thought there should be something like a Starfire, but that is...
We talked about this.
Did we?
I think we did, didn't we? Yeah.
Maybe we did. Yeah. Well, here it is. It exists now. And I mean, Starfires are so cool. And I have an old one from the 60s, but I would like, if you want to buy a really, really nice hollow body that is sort of vintage styled, there aren't that many options, or the options are inexpensive. And I was like, I think there's a place for something really, really nice that's hand built and beautiful. And this is amazing. I mean, check it out too. It just sounds like with a pick.
What does it sound like with just the neck pickup on?
That is just the neck pickup.
Is that just
actually,
the neck pickup on? Yeah.
Here's both together. Here's the mid position or bridge pickup. It's just chocolatey and amazing. I mean, it has this forever, like this sound, right?
Oh my word.
I love that sound, and I feel like it exists mostly in inexpensive instruments, which is awesome. But if there are people out there that are feeling like, I want something hand built, beautiful, really nice woods, he does this. This is a spruce top, and then the back is mahogany, I believe, and the neck is mahogany as well. It's Macassar ebony fingerboard, but then a jet black ebony headstock. He makes the bridge. It's also this tailpiece comes back, so you don't have to use long or short scale strings. You can use just regular strings. Oh, nice. It's a short scale bass. Curtis Novak pickups, 2 modes, the bisonic mode and the Dark Star mode. Handmade. I mean, the knobs, dude. The knobs he makes the knobs. Oh, bird's eye maple dots. It's all made. All of it. Yeah. He hand carves it. It's thick. Even acoustically. It's a
How
beast.
Heavy is it?
It's not heavy. I mean, it's not like, whoa, it's 6 pounds, but I'd say it's maybe 8. So really nice. Yeah. It's not plugged in now. You can hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's got a little bit of an acoustic thing if you play it by itself. And then you turn it on. Ooh. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. So
what's Emily think?
Oh, Emily really likes this bass.
That looks like, it looks. That's why I asked. I was like, that looks like a bass. Like your spouse is not going to look at you and think, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty classy.
Down on you.
Yeah.
Like
Did I tell you?
The Steinberger reaction that you got? And Emily was like,
she was like,
what
"That is the
that?
stupidest bass I've ever seen." Yes. Did I tell you what this color's called?
You did, but remind me.
Toasted marshmallow.
Oh yeah, toasted marshmallow. I like it myself, a good toasted marshmallow. Actually.
It's all lacquer too, so it's all nitro, so it smells good.
So
it smells like
really
wood and lacquer. Yeah.
Patina.
Anyway, amazing. I also need to shout out G&L that made an ASAT bass for me, but I haven't got it all out and ready. It just showed up. So I haven't unboxed it and set it all up yet, but that's coming. That was amazing as well. So shout out to G&L. Definitely going to make some content with that bass. It's so cool. They did a custom shop ASAT in Alpine White that is just incredible. So that's coming. So yeah, anyway, those are the basses for me. I got to take 2 of them home. The Grez and the G&L that I'll show soon. How about you? Talk to me. Talk to me, Goose.
About the basses, I played.
Are there any basses you played?
I played a beautiful Alinto.
Yes.
A really nice jazz bass. I played a beautiful lull, and I played a beautiful Carbonetti as well.
I remember.
That might be making its way to my place.
Oh my God.
We'll have to wait and see. Shout out to James.
That bass was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was outrageous, wasn't it? Yeah, it was
so beautiful, so cool. Yeah. He has made some really great stuff. Yeah, James Carbonetti. If you guys, he makes the Alinto stuff. He's awesome.
He's awesome. What a hang.
Yes.
I love that.
What a great hang.
He's awesome. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of the Alinto guys, I'm just shameless plug too. I got to hang out at the Alinto Labella booth because I have a string that came out. It was crazy.
Cool. Yeah.
I know. I've got a string. It's the super polished rounds. So they're round wounds that get polished. So they feel somewhere in between a round and a flat. They lean more round wound. But that's my string. They're available right now if you want to grab them.
Who did the design for that?
So they have a designer that I worked with. And he had great ideas on this stuff. And we talked colors, and I'm gonna find this because it was such a cool collaboration where he asked me about colors that I liked, and I got to talk about it.
It was cool. I saw the design, I was like, oh, that's nice. I'll do some sort of background music or something.
Yeah. Matthew Weinberger designed these. I wanted to make sure I got that right. Shout out to Matthew. Super cool. And I got to write the copy on the back. I mean, I love product design. Yeah. And so getting this right, so it says super polished, and then it kind of has my name in the background on it. And then if you open it, right, it shows you what strings are what, the ball-in colors, and it has a blurb about the labella tradition. And then the back of the package is the story of creating the string. Basically, they did a super polished string that was very much like a flat wound. Like the standard super polished you get feels more like a flat. It's like a bright flat wound. And I was like, could you change the gauges and polish them less? So it's a little bit more like a round wound, but like a smooth feeling round. And they were like, yeah, do you want to make it? Like, I just wanted that to exist. It's like, could you do another version? Because that's the one that I wanted to play. Yeah. And they're like, what if we just made it a signature string? I said, cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I got to hang out at the booth, and it was so cool because you were hanging too, and people came over, and there was a poster. Oh my God. My just insecurity kicks into these huge posters with me and the strings on them, and people are coming up and meeting me, and then I'm like, do you want a poster? And everybody was like, yeah, I want a poster. Do you want me to sign it? Because I don't know. There's something about handing people pieces of paper that makes me kind of feel sometimes like, here, throw this away later.
Do you think people put up the posters?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people took those posters.
Is that
on their wall? I mean, I can't imagine it, to be honest.
The spouse comes through and they're like, take that off the wall.
No,
but it's Ian Martin. I don't freaking care who it is.
No, I think the spouse comes in and says, you need to frame that immediately. That's actually what's going down. Just going to go overconfident with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Recommend frames.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was an amazing NAMM show. That the day after you left, too, I met with a few companies that I've worked with. There's a pedal coming out that I can't talk about. There's another pedal coming out in a year that I can't talk about. But I got to have kind of a day of like product focus for me, which was amazing. And I love product design, and so hopefully the stuff that I'm working on. I mean, I'm working on it because I want it to exist. Not of I'm designing the perfect thing for me. That, like this bass, I just think this is incredible. And I'm happy that it exists in the world. I mean, I'm thrilled that I have one, but I hope that, people that want this kind of thing will now be able to get this kind of thing, which I think that's always product angle for me, is that of like what should exist.
It looks killer. That toasted marshmallow looks amazing as well.
It's crazy.
I think if I was going to get one, I'd probably get one with just the neck pickup. When I look at them, sometimes I'm like, I just wish it was just the neck pickup.
Just the neck,
functionally, you kind of want the bridge pickup as well. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, I just I like the clean look of just when it's just the neck pickup.
without this guy. Yeah. I think another cool thing though with it is that it does hum cancel like a jazz bass.
Yeah, exactly. I think functionally it's better with it. It's just I love the look of especially like the Gibsons, the old Gibsons and Gretschens when they had that one pickup. And then obviously they went two as well because it's functionally better.
Well, my guess is he would make one because he makes them all one by one. So if anybody wanted to order this, they're not officially like out yet for order. They might be actually though by the time this goes up. But my guess is if you wanted one that had one pickup, volume, tone, he would absolutely do that. I mean, I'm talking for him, but I'm sure that could happen. That could happen for you, Scott Devine.
Thank you, Mr. Allison. Anyway, I alluded to this earlier. I'm just shifting gears to talk about the membership 1 second. If you're a member over SBL or you have been thinking about becoming a member, we're shifting a lot of the stuff that we've been doing over there. You might have already seen it if you remember. We've been going kind of, I guess sort of like historically, what you need to understand is that when we kicked off SBL, my vision was a platform that represented everybody on there, right? Which is why we've got courses from so many of the great players on there, like John Patitucci and Gary Willis and Andrew Goucher and like Michael League. And there's a huge amount of different players that have courses on there. But in 2025, and even like back in 2024, at the end of 2024, what we were hearing from the members is that they wanted a lot of courses from myself and from Ian. They were like, we want more of you guys. So over the last end of 2024 and then definitely moving to 2025, we've been producing a brand new course workshop every single month. So that's coming this year. So Ian, what are some of the stuff that you've done? Like you did the Geddy Lee one.
Yes.
Yeah, Cameron, you tell us about it.
We just decided to reimagine what it actually means to make a course. Right. Yeah. And so we did these mini courses that we could just make. We're like, man, what if we just got in and did it? Instead of like, oh, okay, we're going to book the crazy studio and we removed some of the barriers to making a course. So we could just do more. Yeah, we could make more content and release them monthly. So
which ones have you done
thrilled. So far? Yeah. So far I've done The Genius of Geddy Lee, where I go through his eras of basses and riffs. So talking about the jazz bass, the Rickenbacker, the Wall, the Steinberger, and playing riffs from all of those eras. So if you're a Rush fan, it's cool. I did a pick workshop where talked about using a pick, the different styles, the different grips you want to consider, even like how to choose from like 8,000 picks. Did a pick workshop. Am about to do one on writing charts. So there's a chart writing one coming. And then I believe there was one more that I'm not remembering right now, but Sharon's even going to jump in.
More. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more. There's going to be a lot more this year. Sharon's going to be doing one.
Yeah, on transcription, I believe, right? Or a series on transcription of if you hear a thing, how do you learn the thing by
How do you
ear?
learn the thing? Exactly, yeah.
It is one of the most important skills ever, and it's kind of nebulous. If you don't just kind of know how to do it, or were taught somewhere along the line, it's hard to do. And Sharon's great at it, and she's going to be doing a workshop series on that. Oh, here's another one I just did. I'm starting an effect series. So I just recently, last week, did one on the octave pedal. So I started out with the octave pedal. So talking about the history of it, how you would play it, why you would want one, the best practices for getting a sound out of it, a bunch of examples, the whole deal. So I will be the effects guy. I'll talk about distortion and fuzz and verb and chorus and compression. And, like we're going to do a whole series on it. Yeah. So it's just great because it gives us an opportunity to talk about the things we're passionate about. And it gives you as members, something new to look forward to every single month, like a new mini course to look forward to.
Yeah, that's what we really wanted to do. We wanted to speed up the cadence of actually start producing them for you guys. Yes. I've done a bunch of as well. The last one I did was focused on my favorite practice exercise. Shout out to Eric that said he was one of his favorite courses that he's seen. That we did.
He loved it.
Yeah,
yes.
Eric's head of education here at SBL. But yeah. So anyway, we release one of these every single month, amongst other things as well. If you remember, you already know that every single week we do the mentors streams as well, where you can jump on a live stream with legendary bassists like Gary Willis or John Patitucci or a host of other bass players as well. Shout out to Ian Trussheim that's done them as well. Steve Jenkins. There's a bunch of great players. But if you want to grab a 14-day free trial, a couple of times a year we'll run a discount. We're doing it right now, so you can get $50 off. If you want to grab a trial, check it out. And then if you want to carry on as a member, that's when the $50 off will be applied to your membership, and you'll be able to save the money. So you can exchange your hard-earned money for our combined 4 decades of learning this thing. But yeah, go check it out. The URL is playerspath.com. Playerspath, if you're wondering about it, is another educational element within Scott's Bass Lessons. It's based on 9 levels. It's a whole thing. You will learn about it when you become a member. It's about, removing all of the barriers and giving you a very specific goal to keep following as you go from just picking up the bass all the way through to sort of like pro level bass skills. So go to playerspath.com. You'll be able to grab that discount there and the 14-day free trial, obviously. Or you can just go to scottsbasslessons.com and you'll grab it there as well. And maybe we'll see you on the other side. Now, with that said, on my list of things to talk about, Mr. Allison, is a new F bass. Yeah. Also, you got a gig with a pretty cool artist, but I think that we just call it now and we get into it next time. Are you game?
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Okay, so next time around, we're going to be talking about a new F bass. I've also been collaborating with another bass manufacturer, friend of SBL. Might have a bass coming as well from them.
Oh my gosh.
And Ian's got a great gig. It's super cool. He needs to talk about it. It's going to be in the next pod. See you later, guys. Take it easy, bye.